So move.
Any addition? Any additions or deletions to the agenda? I just got a housing meeting that Deputy Mayor and I attended, housing meeting. Anything else?
Short in the camera.
Camera to talk about shorts. Short. Okay, can we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Third. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? There's no delegations tonight or presentations, so we can move right into the minutes of the previous meeting. And everybody has had a chance to look those over. Any errors or omissions or anything? If not, can we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion on those minutes? None? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None. And there's no unfinished business from those minutes. So we'll move into the meat of the meeting. CAO report. Lots of stuff.
Yep. First thing in the report are the parking levy bylaw amendments. Proposed amendments were discussed at the committee of the whole, and council members were asked to provide comment on the proposed amendments. However, I have not received any comments or suggestions. So to move forward, I require consensus of council on the amendments proposed. So,
No, was this discussed at the last meeting? How is it? The marketing levy meeting?
no.
So does a 3% like screw things up everywhere, or is it easier just to $2?
We can't do
Can't.
$2.
Can't do $2.
It's a provincial.
Okay.
It's under the provincial legislation that it's gonna be a percentage up to a maximum of 3%, right? So the levy committee sort of did discuss that portion a little bit. And everybody figured that, go to 3%, then, which is the cap, most people, most any other units is probably gonna go the same. Right, so it's, and it will be more money in the long run for the levy, because, I mean, right now, we're getting $2 per room, irregardless of whether you're paying $75 for a room or $300 for a room. But percentage wise, it's gonna be based on the room, so.
Well, like I said today, the only problem you're gonna have is if some do, hotel. They were the ones always fighting that they wanted to go.
Yeah, well,
This is a provincial thing,
yeah, we have to change to be in compliance with the legislation. Otherwise, they can probably have the authority to cancel or shut us down and not approve it.
Again?
Yeah. So I did circulate tonight the amended bylaw so that people could see what needed to be amended. There was one that I missed under the short title, and that's just the bylaw number, it didn't change. So, and definitions number 2, it's consists of 3 or more instead of 1 or more. And it's 3% as opposed to $2 per night.
So Tom, is Yarmouth 3 or more, or are they 1?
Yarmouth was $2 before.
No, I mean the
Number of rooms.
Oh,
rooms.
sorry.
Is that, are they 3 or 1? three now.
It seemed to me there were three
Three or more.
yeah, three or more, because, that's what we started with. We started the discussion with, when we went out to the public, and had our public meetings and that was discussing it, because basically it's due to the administration trying to chase, some, and that's why I put together that sort of spreadsheet, colorful spreadsheet. And, so it tells how many units that they have, how many bedrooms each one of those has, and so,
I just think it should be one, because Airbnbs is always a big issue. They usually only have one, right? So we're letting the Airbnbs off the hook.
We haven't really addressed that, have we?
Well, the province is making the
Province is making it, but.
provinces, they're to be registered,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
so this list, I've got the ones that are either, the lime green or the brick red are ones that are on the provincial list that are registered with the province,
Okay.
right? That we haven't registered yet. So, 5 of those, so there's 12 in total. We have 18, we have 30 in total accommodation, registered accommodations within Nova Scotia, or within, registered with Nova Scotia. 18 of them are registered with us, that's on that list. 5 are to be, identified to be, registered. And 7 are under the 3 limit, if we were to impose the 3 limit. So.
So what's the municipality consider?
Well, that,
Saying?
the municipality, see, they've got a lot more, and I guess, actually, it came from the municipality administratively, because they got so many more smaller things and trying to chase each and every one. So that was the suggestion, that's where the 3 or more came from, was suggested. And, but, you know, to me, you know, there are some of them, I don't even know how we are gonna chase them, or even if we get them registered. There's, like, some of them, like Jason Dickey, he's got some, and they're all apartments, but he's registered them as Airbnb as well, right? So we don't know whether they'll be rented out as apartments, or whether they're gonna be Airbnb, right? But he's registered, so we could short-term lease, you know.
So he's got one property but 4 rooms, right? Is that what you're saying? Dickey?
No,
It
it's
says
only got
one.
1 bedroom.
1 bedroom.
Yeah, there's 3 dwelling units in that house, and he's only registering with the province, one of them, as an Airbnb.
Yeah, we gotta get something, we've been dealing with this for 4 years now, 5 years.
So I'll
The
just,
district will be the same,
yeah,
we have to be the same, we can't, well, I guess we shouldn't say we don't have to be the same, but if we go 1 and they go 3, it's gonna cause some grief between.
Could we put this on, I don't know when our next meeting with the county is going to be, but it's one of those things that we should talk about.
Well, they're headed this way, so.
well, the thing is with this bylaw, come the first, the new year,
Yeah, there's a
we're gonna be in non-compliance because we were given so much lead time, to get our things amended.
Well, what's,
It's like, it's no deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
We've been trying to accommodate this group. We've gotten backlash from them, we've gotten backlash from the province. The province changed midstream. It's been quite short, just trying to do a favor for someone.
So, I mean, to me, like I said, I put it in because that's what, was suggested. I don't know whether, how it's been, how municipal, our district council is treating it, but, whether they've said yes or no to the three. So I guess that's what
Is there any
we
reason?
need to know, we wanna stay with the one. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Has there been any feedback from the group, from the committee?
no, well, they haven't seen this.
But the
But
committee,
but during the public meetings, the whole point of one was trying to capture the Airbnbs. But now, because they did, but we couldn't capture them anyway because they weren't registered. Now the province is making them registered.
Who's to say this one here who has 4 rooms, says one's registered, isn't gonna use 2 or 3 rooms?
Well, 4 rooms,
I just think, I can see Chase's on for $2, right? But when it's a percentage, it's fair right across the board. So,
How,
right,
the problem though is, how would you know how much they sold the room for?
well, they're registered, right? They have to report it to the tourism
Yeah,
board,
but how does-
correct?
Tom, trying to
they're
collect.
supposed, according to the bylaw, that they're supposed to keep separate records, just like you keep track of HSD and all that, right? This is my sales,
Yes.
my room rent, and this is my levy, right? And that's the supporting document for the remittance. So if they send us a remittance in, say that they, had 10 rooms, they sold 10 rooms for this last month, and we got our X number of dollars, right? If we would question that or thought, well, that seems low, we could go and say, we wanna see your books, right?
But even one person that renting that one room out, that's 30 nights a month. They could be doing 300 nights a year, right? So 3% of that is still quite a little sum, not to say we don't want some money.
it's $30 a night for 1 room.
Yeah.
But if we're not consistent with the district, that's gonna lead to a lot of groups.
Yeah.
The
I
biggest,
guess, where
the
does
whole point of
committee-
us working together was to be consistent between the 2 units, so.
I guess, is that what the committees decide?
So the committee has had this discussion.
Yeah.
3% of a $300 room is a lot more than 3% of a $75.
Well, see, that was the argument too, is going percentage, the person renting $75 room ends up paying more in real dollars.
Yeah. But they're upkeep and everything, I mean, totally different than a larger hotel, right?
But they're paying us,
Cost.
they're paying us.
Yeah, they're paying us.
So they're not gonna think that's fair. But that's the problem.
But the percentage is fair, I mean, $2
Yeah,
is
that's choice.
fair too, to that,
Yes.
right? Percentage is fair, I mean, with us, if whether you went on 10 subways or 1 subway, it's still the same percentage, you pay equal, right? Whether you own 1 store or 20 stores.
In Halifax, it's charged 3%. America's charged 3%.
Well, it's gonna be 3%, province is ordered 3%. The argument now is that we're gonna do 1 room, district gonna do 3, or vice versa, or we're gonna do the same.
Yeah.
I mean, if we give our recommendation to the committee saying we want 1 or we want 3, then the
So the committee doesn't decide this.
Yeah. No, the committee is an advisory committee, and all that, their purpose is for insurance. Giving them the money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They have nothing to, they can give opinion, but they don't have authority to tell us what we put in our bylaw.
Right.
The bylaw is done by us, the collection is done by us, and, That's the word, it's an advisory committee.
But that makes my question for that 16 part A, with what you changed it to, that's, to be used to promote tourism, boy, that's a very broad brush. But
Yeah.
is that why you?
But, and that's the exact wording that is in the legislation. That's why I used it, right? And, the reason, the other thing was, it was to increase the number of room nights sold. So there was, a lot of discussion at the committee level about, well, if they're not gonna give us more room nights, and what does that mean?
And how do you count that?
And how do you actually account for it? And, you know, and they started talking, well, it's gotta mean that, you know, we're all full, members of the committee that operate, well, we're full anyway, most of the time in the summer, those gotta mean the shoulder seasons, right? But the thing is, the money is to promote tourism to the area, so that it's basically everybody can get more room nights eventually.
When you think about it, it's a little unfair if I were a whale-watching enterprise. I don't pay anything into that fund, but I'm gonna benefit heavily from
A lot of people are, they're not gonna, but
It's the same
hopefully
thing.
guilt them into doing
I
something.
mean, it's the same for the
Same
restaurants.
with the restaurant.
And one of the complaints when this first started was, well, if you're charging us, you should be charging a levy on the restaurants.
But the thing is, most restaurants, the argument around, the counter argument is you would need a restaurant, so why are you paying a marketing levy? You,
That's right.
you live
it.
here,
Local, yeah.
local, so that's the difficult part of that.
And that's, you
Yeah,
know,
that's why it doesn't happen anywhere else.
Yeah, oh, I know.
I think we gotta have consistency between the two units. Cause we're
the
gonna,
thing, the thing is, we're not gonna be able to table this until December. If, you know, first reading will be December. We got a committee in between. I mean, if council feels that we want to stay with one, I can relay that back to the district, because they're still, and, you know, maybe they'll
we could have special council.
be saying.
Well, then that should be everybody registered.
So is
If
there a reason
anybody's
why?
registered, then they should be on it, whether we got 1 room or 116 rooms. So if that guy registered with 1 room, then he should be paying our property.
My question would be like, when does the province actually have a requirement for them to be registered? Because if that isn't in place yet, then we're just gonna be chasing the honest folks first and then everybody else afterwards. And based on Airbnb, we've only got 3 current listings that I see in Digby, but the
Everybody's-
municipality would be more than concerned for,
Everybody's supposed to be registered.
supposed
It
to
has
be
been,
at this
it
point.
always has been,
Yeah, okay.
so this doesn't change anything.
Okay.
But we also don't wanna start chasing people, and I refer to Yarmouth, Yarmouth has never, in 10 years, gone anywhere saying, you're not paying, because it's all built on it.
So then we shouldn't worry about the one person that's $2 or $2.50. We're not gonna chase it anyway.
Yeah, because it's gonna cost more to track it down.
Cost
than
more.
for.
So, I mean,
But
the
you
fines,
see, if
the
you were
fines could
smart, you
say,
would register your property as an Airbnb for the summer, and you'd make 4 times as much money.
right,
And then at the end of the summer, turn around and say, oh, no, it's an apartment, and rent it for the
Then
winter.
there you
It's
go.
simple.
I think some people do that, some people do that.
yeah.
And they can do, because, you know, like a lot of the Airbnbs or some of our, you know, we have a lot of year-round places, but there's some that bed and breakfast, they close, right?
Yes.
Right, they close for the winter and just open in the summer, right, seasonal. So, the thing is, they have more seasonals than we do, right? So, I think it's an administrative thing that, I believe that the CAO, district CAO looks at it a little differently than I do. He wants to be more aggressive and so he doesn't wanna really invest administrative time in chasing these small
Yeah.
mom and pop
So have you done the math? What's his 3% compared to R1? It's about the same money, or maybe he's still farther ahead?
No,
Just
this
based
is how many rooms.
Rooms.
Yeah.
This is rooms.
This is rooms. How many rooms,
on-
not the percentage.
No, it's rooms.
The percentage is, we're suggesting, we're,
Set in stone.
in agreement at 3%.
Yeah.
Two units are in agreement with, at 2% at this, or 3% at this point. What it is the number of rooms that we say that you
Is the
need to be
goal.
registered with us, right? Whether that be just one room, or whether it be 3 rooms.
So Tom, how many rooms does a municipality have? They've gotta have less than
I've
us.
seen it, but I don't recall now. Early on. You see, the
A lot
round
of
table,
theirs are seasonal.
That's what I mean, yeah, but how many do they have? They wouldn't have half as many as we have. I wouldn't think, so we really should be making the decision.
I think
where
there's a few campsites that are,
yeah, they're not.
They're not included.
Oh, right. This is,
well, they're rent, you know,
yeah,
they
they're,
got a
yeah,
cabin here and a cabin there, and then
yeah,
Yeah, but they don't
yeah. We've been through all that, and with the discussion around 1 room or 3 rooms, it was back and forth. The one with 1 room said, I'm not gonna be treated fairly because I end up gonna be paying percentage-wise more money. But it came from the district, not the council, but from people there saying, well, and one in particular saying, everybody should be there because of those darn Airbnbs. Well, at that time, they didn't have to be registered, and now the province is making them registered, encouraging them registered, because they're not gonna drive around the county saying, I think that's an Airbnb.
That's right.
They're not gonna do that. If they find out, then they'll make them registered, but.
So, this is based on the spreadsheet that we done, or the tally that we done for the rooms, back in 2018, it looks like the district had 241 rooms, and we had 283. But for some reason, in that number, we had the Pines at 147, but now they're 116.
They
So
must
I
have taken the
don't-
cottages out, because the cottages are close to the winter.
Yeah,
That's probably what
that's most
30 something, yeah.
But that's the number that comes from the province too, is 116.
Must have been in the sale deal.
So, anyway, the only difference is they've got a lot of seasonal.
Yeah, they have a lot of shutdowns.
They've only got the Briar Island Lodge at 39 rooms, that's year round, and, I think that's it. They've only got one,
Good with
unless
those,
Edinburgh Dig Inn stays open, but we don't know what to do.
No, they're closed now.
Yeah, so
They're closed.
everything is seasonal for them.
Yeah, we might have done hotel the end of that.
We're doing hotel, they've got 10 rooms.
So if we make a motion to proceed, but at the same time, check with the district, because we can always, if we want to get this in place by January 1, if we agree that we want this to happen, we can move ahead with the motions, but I think we gotta be consistent between the 2 units. Or I can just see it. It was hard enough to get this together. It was hard enough to get the committee. We're still working the committee, massaging the committee to understand our role. And then, yeah, that's
Well, yeah.
frustrating that,
All right, so basically, if I think I'm getting the feeling that we should stay with 1. Is that what am I hearing everybody?
I would be for the first going off.
And at
If it
least,
doesn't work out,
that's what it is now.
it is now, so it's the status quo, is what
Yeah.
we want to stay with. Right, okay.
well, you're only talking 4 places.
That's just in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we just.
I mean, the thing is that, it's like, everything else is, if they're registered with the province, then we're gonna be able to, province sends us data, sends a report of who is registered, right? And that's where this spreadsheet comes from. This is everybody in the town of Digby that's registered with the province, right? So I done this exercise to find out how many of them we've already got, how many, and the other ones, so the, lime green stuff is things that are under three rooms. Which is, 7.
Yeah, 7.
So it's not, there's a big thing, we'll just have to do a campaign, contact all these people and say, you know, with the registration package and stuff, that you need to be registered.
That could be 7,800 nights, right?
Yeah. So, all right,
See what happens.
so.
It's a lot more money. 3% of $300 is $9. $200 room would be $6. $150 room would be $4.50. And that's substantially up for $2.
Oh, it is, yeah, yeah. And that's why the $30 one people were proud. Because they're paying a lot more money, percentage wise, than the $300 room.
They're not really paying it, but yeah, they.
No, but that's what yeah, you heard the $30.
The ratio is
Now it's $34.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, it's the ratio.
Reflect $2 on a $75 room, and if you get a $300 room, you're still paying only $2, you're collecting
Yeah.
only $2.
Yes. But now we're mandated to be a percentage anyway, so that's a new point. Rob's just saying it's gotta be percentage, so.
I mean, the kitty could grow much quicker, they could do more things, it's real positive.
Yeah.
I just laugh at what's your room rate. You win the hotel's like 100 to 800. So what does your room mean?
Yeah.
Could be some,
Okay.
a bit of mischief there to fudge and just give you a 3% on the total.
Yeah.
Gotta check on that.
So, okay, so we touched on,
Yeah, the rest,
16A,
the rest of the word.
and on 17, that's, changing it from the mayor
Yeah.
and the warden to one member of council.
Yeah.
And
That part I always said, should be member of council, not, of course, I could designate somebody, but.
And on 18, we just deleted whom shall not be either the warden or mayor. Chair is chair, so it's just from the voting members, so that opens the door that could be.
The council.
Yeah, it could be a council member, but. And the bylaw change is December, the effect is 31st, 2023. We're probably not gonna actually make that, but we'll see. And the last one, 26, was the addition that the previous bylaw be repealed, be replaced by this one. Okay, good. So are we okay? Okay,
You want to push the bigger? Move it along?
I think basically I want to
Is that
consensus,
direction?
consensus and direction at this point. And it'll be on the agenda for committee of the whole, where, and then we can do another if need be, and then recommendation to council for December's for free. All right, so next item is the Digby Regional Transfer Station. So, held a meeting to discuss the operations of the transfer station. Some issues have arose in administering the operating agreement, and it was decided that we would split the responsibilities for a period to see if the situation would improve. So effective October 25th, the town will take over the site management, and the district will continue to do the financials. Seems to be some friction between.
Yeah, I've heard all of it.
So, anyway, we think that, we're gonna give this a try, see what, RFPs for design engineers, so they were posted, for the pre-design on Church Street and the full design on King Street, and they closed on the 19th of October. The RFPs were reviewed and evaluated by senior staff and recommend the council following. So the pre-design for Church Street, we had 3 RFPs received. Wolf and Morris at $46,526 plus HST. Vigilant, $20,581 plus $4,000. If Tahoe survey was needed plus HST, and Able at $24,955 plus HST. The recommendation is that council award the RFP for pre-design of the Church Street project to Able Engineering Land Surveying in the amount of $24,955 plus HST.
Is Able new to us? Are they one of the new ones that come out of the woodwork?
Yeah. I've done my research because it was, I called the references, there's, Naples Royal uses them, Able. Village of Kingston has used them. I got good reviews for both of those that I called. I had concerns because, there was an individual that used to be part of engineering firm that, provided services to the town that we had some real issues with and stopped using. At one point merged with Able, or joined Able. That person is no longer with Able, so, and, the project team are not any of the previous engineering firm. So,
Okay. Anybody want to put that forward as a motion, that we accept that recommendation?
I'll, council award the RFP, for pre-design Church Street, Church King project, to Able Engineering Land Survey, and now $24,955 plus HST.
Does Able cover the topograph?
Yeah.
Okay.
technically, there's no way that you could really do any type of a pre-design, or anything with a topographical, survey anyway. So, and it was included, that's one of the things that we checked, one of the first things that we checked.
All those in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None. Motion carried.
So we have, the next one is the full design for King Street. We have 4 RFPs. EXP at $78,625 plus HST, Able at $69,425 plus HST, Vigilant at $92,737 plus HST, and Wolf and Morris $99,741 plus HST. And so we have recommended, the recommendation is to award the project to EXP in the amount of $78,625 plus HST. So, the reason that we didn't go with Able on this one as well is because Able, where this is a full design, Able's team that they put forward didn't have any extensive water and sewer type experience, right? And, with the pre-design, basically, like for the Church Street, the pre-design is sort of, you come up with a concept type thing and be able to get some, estimate some numbers of what costs, of what it would cost to do the project, so that it gives us information to put in for grant applications, like how much money we request.
So that's the difference, because I was looking at that.
And
They
they
don't like
were,
the street.
yeah, and they were on Abel's team, a lot of them have project management background. So that's, with the pre-design, that's what you need, more than getting down into the design and the nuts and bolts. So, EXP actually had very, very good team, extensive, experience with water, sewer, streets, and sidewalks.
We use that for the industrial park, or the port, one of the two I said, we use that in the past.
Yeah, the name that I couldn't
Oh, yeah.
remember either, but the name, I think we may have used them through DDA,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the, yeah, so like what I said, that all RFPs were extensively discussed with him, and the lowest RFP was eliminated due to the lack of the team's experience with water and wastewater design.
so this 78,000 is then less 50%, or is that the other 50%?
That's the total
Total
cost.
cost, so there's no percent.
It's 50% funded by the provincial government. Right. But both of these are 50% funded. The other two, Vigilant and that were both over our budgeted amount. However, I don't know why the budget amount was as low as what it was. Vigilant and the Wolf and Morris would probably be in line based on what we were doing that street for, so.
Okay, so we'll put that forward.
I will move that, council accept the recommendation of staff to award the RFP redesign for the King Street traffic controlling project to EXP in the amount of $78,625 plus HST.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion on it? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay.
Next one, Community Navigator. So the Navigator produces quarterly reports which are considered confidential due to personal information that prohibits them from being public documents. So I place the reports on the town's flag on the Community Navigator report for council's information. So instead of, if we put them in the reporting of the council packets and they become public, and for some of this, there is some sensitive, information that, are not to be public knowledge. Housing Trust of Nova Scotia, so I was interviewed by a representative of Nova Scotia, or Housing Trust of Nova Scotia. The purpose is to collaborate and partner to build and maintain diverse and livable communities across Nova Scotia. And the primary mission is to provide good quality, affordable housing for low to moderate income working households and communities where the cost of housing is skyrocketing or there is a shortage of good quality rental housing. The Housing Trust is now looking at projects for the phase 2 of funding. The purpose of their interview was to check provincially and town-owned properties that they had identified in the town of DB to see if they were suitable for development of affordable housing. During the discussion, I mentioned the town-owned property that might be suitable for an affordable housing project that they seem interested in. And so I'll go into further details as we're talking about documents. Confidential. Taking on a shelter, and then further to the email that Mayor Cleveland circulated from the Archdiocese regarding the possibility of some of these units being installed in the Catholic Church parking lot. I met with a representative of the Digby Area Housing Coalition concerning this project to discuss any land use issues. So I consulted our planner, and he advised that this type of thing is happening in different areas of the provinces. Many municipalities are turning a blind eye on permitting. I suggested that in lieu of not issuing permits, that the town enter into an MOU agreement between the town and the Archdiocese to ensure that it doesn't develop into a large-scale operation. And so I require some direction from council on how to proceed.
Do they have any idea what size of units, how many units?
I think they're only talking two.
8 by 10, something like that.
Yeah.
I had I had a conversation with them over too, and what these units would be people that just need overnight accommodations. They're not currently equipped to deal with addiction or mental health issues, so it's not that type of tenant, because they wouldn't be able to handle that type of tenant. So it would be somebody that just say, hey, listen, I have no place to sleep tonight. So it would be short term. It would be people living in there for months and months at a time, and washroom facilities and stuff like that would be provided by the cottages. Because I did express, the neighborhood people may have concerns, and they said we're very conscious of that, so we don't want this to turn into a challenge.
They have a committee within the church too that kind of looks after them, checks in on them, and raises funds.
I guess, as Tom said, there's others around. Some places have gone up to 8 units.
Yeah.
8 units, yeah.
I don't think that's what they're, I think that they're gonna see how this goes, and they may even be able to look at space within their building for more permanent type
It's
shelter.
kind of a neat story that I actually read about Bedford St. Ignatius. It was an unexpected benefit, but they kind of have built-in security. Because these people are concerned about where they're living, they keep an eye on people around in the middle of the night, so they're watching the church too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Is that what has been in the news last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think that was one of the original ones.
yeah. Any comments on it?
Nice
The
to
rest of
see
the dogs?
somebody getting off the street somewhere.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Well, it's a step, but keep somebody warm for a little while. Tom, I guess you could personally start looking at it while you see how that looks.
Call for application of municipal capital growth program. Department of Municipal Affairs and Housing has announced a call for applications under the Municipal Capital Growth Program. The MCGP is a new one-time program for 23-24 that provides investments for capital municipal infrastructure to service Nova Scotia's growing population while supporting provincial priority areas. In order for applications to be included, the following must be included. Need a council resolution supporting the submission of the project for funding consideration under the MCGD and cost estimate, give a cost estimate for the project. And the application will be accepted from November 1st to December 13th at midnight. This will be funded up to 50% of eligible costs for each project. And the applicant must demonstrate the ability to fund the remaining balance of the project through municipal and or other sources. The eligible projects are water and wastewater, includes the construction, expansion, and or renewal of facilities for treatment and disposal of sanitary sewage collection systems, water intake treatment and pumping and storage facilities, water transmission and distribution systems, storm sewer separation and infrastructure which reduces and eliminates combined sewer overflows. Capital projects for accessibility and for brownfield redevelopment and climate change adaptations. So in climate change, we have emergency preparedness, generator, and water storage. So,
What project popped in my head, the second avenue that we opened up. And talking with the Noah's land there, his intent is to finally start that development this spring. Is there water to serve down there?
yeah,
There is.
yeah, I already put that,
When we did that.
when we did that sewer. Yeah, sewer, I think, was already runs down that road. But we did put the water in service of the lots. So it goes from St. Mary's to St. George Street.
So it's all good there.
Yeah.
Staff had any ideas about it?
I think there could be one, the generators for, the lift stations were, so mentioned. We've already got them in our budget, so, we can get kind of funding on other, because they usually fit, because, uses and eliminates bond sewer overflows, right? And our revenues, that's what we have, and it's costs us a lot of money trying to keep them pumped out with a truck. And, especially where you've got so many different lift stations. So that's one, I think that, we'll probably talk about that at the senior management team, and that could be the whole, probably bring matters forward to see what the council's thoughts are. Yeah, but we do have time to do the resolution that required the council's priority resolution at the December meeting, because I think it's 13th or something like that. We did one.
Okay. Well, we're after something.
Yeah.
Lots of something that we need to do, so generators a good idea.
You get generators for the fire department, or is that not? Emergency services. You get some mobiles over there, so.
Well, this is for, no, you mean there's generators on the truck?
You know, generators, they just have generators, they
Oh,
put them on the truck and extra.
these would be, well, of course, when he's not, he's vegetative,
Yeah.
obviously, those ones out there. Something to look
Yeah. The Regional Municipal Peace Program, so as a result of the work done by the Western Maine in the past few years on the energy file, they are looking at a regional municipal peace program as well as hiring energy concierge or something.
Yeah.
To help homeowners navigate the various home energy retrofit programs, i.e. insulation boards, windows, heat pumps, etc.
I just, off that a little bit, I've been helping somebody that's having some difficulties with the property, and I've gone through 7 applications already. If you don't really have the ability or the time or the effort to go look at it, it's frustrating, but I filled in 7 applications for it, well, me and another chap, and they're getting all kinds of money, but that's how many are out there floating around. Yeah,
Especially if you're low income right now, to get heat pumps on the street.
yeah, you can be free, in this case, they are getting free,
Awesome,
yeah, they are getting.
So, so there's an opportunity to submit an application, and this is to the NSFM Sustainable Community Challenge Fund. And, an annual grant is 500 to 800K to be used as loan collateral for this joint program. It has to be spent by December 31st, 2025. So they are looking for a lead municipality to be named applicant, and I would recommend that we not be, if we're interested, not be the lead. Because it tends to be time consuming, and I really don't have the extra resources to deal with it, to be truthful.
The municipality's been doing the PACE program for
Yeah.
10 years. The PACE program is where me as a homeowner, say, we would borrow money to retrofit my house, and it comes part of the tax program. Okay, they've asked us before. But is it revenue? Is it revenue generating? It is for the district. For once, I don't know what the rates are.
Theirs is, well, I don't know how much, theirs is a loan program.
Yeah, but it's PACE.
Yeah, but it's a base program.
Yeah.
It's a loan, but they have to put up their own collateral. This
Yeah.
here is hopefully that this company is gonna put up collateral.
Yeah.
Plus the grant, and it's not gonna fall back on municipal units to be able, like, we could do a base on our own if we wanted to, if we could, but we would have to have X number of dollars set aside to be able to loan to people, what if you pump in or whatever the case may be, and then they pay it back through the taxes, right, tax bill every year.
Yeah.
They take
Does
it
it have
off.
to come to the capital? Where can it come from?
I would say no, it would come to capital, we wouldn't have the capital, we wouldn't have the assets, it would have to be an operating expense. But anyway, I guess what they wanted to do, I did put the link there, so electronically you can check out the actual meeting recording that the guy went through, get your, so. There is no funding commitment at this point, and, for me to apply just a letter of support for the application, and in confirmation that the municipality is interested in being a partner on the joint PACE program.
So what if they don't come up with a lead municipality?
It would apply. Right.
Have a look at the link and see what you think about it.
I watched it a couple times.
Yeah.
It's working out of place.
Yeah, the program is just, yeah, the thing is, I don't know, they say they'll support, complete the application, but then what administrative work is it done? There's that you have to consider. It's not just say, well, yeah, we'll put a name down, you fill out the thing, we'll put a name down as the sponsoring municipality and our lead municipality, but,
Well, I think the first paragraph kind of addresses that by hiring an individual. We're
yeah.
doing that, yeah. You say the deadline is when? Or was it a deadline on that? I don't know.
Yeah, there is a,
It's the 31st. Well, no, that's the,
but that's what we need to,
yeah.
there is,
And look at, if we want to know more, they would come, the Brandon would come and talk about it. We can invite them to come. Yeah, well, one, to see if we're interested in just being a part, or participating in the program, and see who might be leading us. See if everybody sent an email to them, so you want to come talk to you, basically.
That's pretty well all on that, that meeting.
Well, the video,
Yeah.
but you ask questions, that video doesn't answer. Sometimes it's nice to have Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll do that, Tom, and by then maybe we'll have a lead. So then we gotta decide whether one the member of the. I have over the years, if you ought to inquire, how come we're not, because they can go to the district, or money can live in the district through their program, that PACE program they have. There's them, Shower and Bridgewaters, I think it's 6 to 7 involved. We have things.
Honestly, right now, it's probably a great time for it, just because the likelihood of the cost of home heating and everything down is, so, there's a lot of folks that could really, use maybe the assistance or come from this to help guide them through it. Because like Doug, you're gonna, have the time, every single person does stuff with it, so,
I've always wondered why there hasn't been a consultant taking the lead on this and saying, come to me, for so much, I'll fill in all these applications and stuff. I wonder.
I think that that's what, St. Pace or whatever it's called, is going to do, search space. So yeah, the deadline for the thing is November 14th for the grant, so we need to know.
Well, that's not, we're not gonna have it here by then, so. So are we interested in just being a partner, or lead? Or not? Partner?
see what's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should be a partner.
Yeah.
If they end up in the lead, then maybe they can come back to us. Yeah. No, it doesn't give us much time, but, they might be able to work around the bit of extension to give us some more information to do it, some sort of solution.
So do we have a motion to say that at least that we want to offer a letter of support to the application as a partner?
Sure, I'm willing with that, that we offer a.
There's no support.
Second.
Any other discussion? None, all those in favor say aye. Any nays? None. Okay. That's it. Recreation board.
Board's under package, question, we'll try to answer.
The climbing walls, that just gonna move around for very
It's in
some way?
Weymouth now, it'll be Weymouth in winter, all winter. Back up in
Just wonder why we, instead of.
Because they have,
or whatever.
well, they have, people trained to, and they have the space for it right now. And it's used pretty well down there. But they're top, over the years, to take it to different places.
Yeah, I was just thinking, because it mounts to a wall, and we got a gymnasium where you can mount that to the wall, and it's not in the way of the gym. anybody seen it, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, try to make everything happen big.
They didn't want it to be canceled.
Yeah.
That's the truth. They didn't want it.
Okay. Any other questions, Mike or Peter? Okay.
You know, they had the Acadia Aspen Coffee Camp and stuff, and that went all real well.
Yes, and Nerda was really good with the camp and speed skating had good numbers. Special Olympics having good numbers.
There were,
On hockey's having good numbers.
the speed skating, there were 9 or 10, all ages, every day. Now they want oppositions.
Miss Kate, our last meeting was when she must have been, I don't know, maybe 2 feet high, bucket, going around, on the bucket with speed skates.
It's something new.
That's cute.
Your last name Matthews?
I don't know.
Austin?
Any mistakes?
No, I
Do you ever talk about putting in, even if you don't do all of it, just some infrastructure for live streaming? Just run some network cabling and putting some outlets and,
Never talked to.
because you just roll the wire and figure out a plan, it's not much money.
Because you can't do anything in it now. You know, you see the building,
Yeah.
it's frustrating to try to put it there.
Guarantee you can't do it.
Yeah, you try it.
So unless you've got a wire connection, you're done.
The new lights are up and the new clock is.
Do let's make video look way better.
Okay, move on to correspondence. A letter there from Nature Canada Ocean Conservation. We don't actually do these observations other than 20 years. But we can recognize the importance of it. This one here, literally I get proclamations every day by email, whether it's recognizing the importance of ants to recognizing the importance of the oceans. Literally do. And years and years ago, we just said we can't run these every time, because we'd be all one night.
Yeah.
Proclaiming. So we just do it through, we recognize the importance of it. That kind of stuff, so. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, when the policy was created for proclamations and not do them, the requirement, when they asked for a proclamation, there was a cost to it, to the town, and that was to publish the proclamation and all the stuff in the newspaper, and it just got over, so, I guess the only one that the town does, and the mayor does is, for the afternoon excursion.
I think is that in the policy?
No,
I don't know if it's in the policy, but we just said we'll continue.
but council can
Yeah.
override that kind of like
Oh,
override the policy. Because the policy just gives the administrative staff, you get a proclamation, they come and look at it, if it doesn't, it just,
I've received some in regards to the Ukrainian war now, the war, and they're all very important, but we'll be reading these hours. Okay, NSFM. In regards to cell phone, but did I not just read the province? Yeah, the province has stepped up here in the last week or two, so probably this is gonna be a new point.
They didn't say what the priority is.
No, they didn't say the area, they just said they're gonna put, am I correct to say 40 odd million?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's 40 odd million dollars to try to fix this issue.
So they're gonna spend it all on Bear River?
So this, when did this go? October the 11th. Yeah, so since then, the province has come out and said that they're gonna address the cell phone issue in some of the bid areas.
They read this and said, yes, we agree.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Department of Municipal Affairs correspondence. This is regards to the infrastructure program. I was asked to sit before the law amendment committee in support of this, because they thought it was gonna go by the sidelines, but it went through and it's gonna be third reading. Cape Breton is, the unit is struggling with it. And the mayor did come on and say, listen, we support and recognize that this is helping a lot of the other towns and stuff, but they have a lot of infrastructure issues, a lot of roads, rural roads, so they're still debating with the province, but I think it did get third reading, Tom, did it? I think I did see something, that it's good,
I think,
yeah.
I haven't seen anything official yet, but I've heard that it back.
Yeah, it passed the law amendments and then go back, yeah. Been used it, I downloaded that app, I haven't used it yet, so. Anybody else downloaded it?
I haven't yet.
No, you don't. Yeah, I downloaded, I haven't set it up or anything, but, in regards to a lot of that, I can do that now with my doctor now, I can sign into their site and see my reports and things like that, so. And I've shared this already on my page, so if anybody else wants to share it, so. It's a little unusual to get a letter directly from, Trainer promoting an app. Did he design it?
Or does he invest in the company that designed it?
But it's handy, you know, it'd be good for people to use, so.
Wonder if the printer is done.
I don't know. Years and years ago, I got interviewed with doctors and they, the headline was, the mayor has to drive an hour and a half to his doctor. Careful. Okay, next, EPR. I lost that.
It's,
Yeah, there's this.
email.
Yeah. I read that several times. What's it mean?
Well, yeah, I guess we're proceeding, but with the program, but, I guess they're throwing out there that, municipalities can opt out. I don't think that we want to opt out. We've been wanting this, and actually we've all been paying for this forever, ever since it was an EP program put in place elsewhere in Canada. Because if you think that the manufacturers, because that's where the costs are on the manufacturer, they have to pay. And so, say for packaging, it costs them 2 cents per unit, right? For EPR, if you think for a minute that, because Nova Scotia doesn't have an EPR program, we're gonna be, our price for that craft dinner box is gonna be 2 cents less? No, we're paying that, we're just not getting the benefit of it. And it's been quite a trial trying to get the provincial government to understand the value of it, because, I think mainly because it's not their money, right? Municipalities are paying for the recycling costs, processing, and all collection and processing. So this will give us a, if we're part of this, then we'll be able to get the, reap some financial benefits.
Where was it that I just read up the recycle fees for containers to 10 cents and 25 cents for a glass material?
I know there's been, I've seen some complaints that
Yeah.
these rates here haven't raised or haven't, and they want the rates to go up, yeah.
Probably a lot of problems with kids learning to count even nowadays. Because when we were kids, you knew exactly how many pop-ups it
Oh,
to
to
get back.
get to the Campbell store to get the oh, yes, yeah. Yeah, you save up, I get my penny candy there now. That's true.
Way to go.
I never thought of it that way, yeah.
And so, and I think that we should, waste check in order to fill out the information. And, I shouldn't say this, but at least we should get something for our money.
Yeah, well, that's what's there for.
You know, that's all.
Yeah, that's what they're there
And, so I think that they should put it on the waste check agenda, but I guess,
So they can help pellet, you mean? So they can help pellet surveying?
so that they can see, the board has to give direction to waste check to do it, right? So,
for. Okay.
So you want us to put on, want to send it in to put on?
For answer this.
yeah, we can answer the,
Then we want to remain, or, okay, yeah, I went through trying to understand what they were actually getting to, but I was looking at, is this gonna cost them more money or not?
no, this actually should,
Give
give us some money
Money, yeah.
towards our recycling costs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what, the EPR program is extended producer responsibility. That's what, so if they're making this packaging, then they're supposed to contribute to, a fund that'll help dispose of it. Yeah, right? It's a lot like the electronics thing, and the difference is, with the EPR, it's on producer's dime, not, well, it's on our dime too, we pass it along. But, I mean, electronics fee that we, environmental fee and paint fee and everything else, we pay for it directly or indirectly. But we get some of the benefits.
A pretty good example of that is tires. You pay $4 on every tire for a recycling fee, but no one tells you how you recycle. And the truth is, you can go to the Ford dealership and that stack of tires that gets picked up, you're more than welcome to throw them on the pile because you already paid for it.
Yeah.
But no one tells you about those things.
Where do they go? They tried experimenting with, put in road material and stuff like that, there's a couple of test sites around here, but I don't know really what they're doing with stuff. There was a debate about it a number of years ago, up Amherst Way or something, that's where they were going, but I thought there was a problem there, but don't know. Of course, we had one here, that we spent 2 or 3 days putting the fire out, so. Okay. New business, concerned citizen on site property. Stole this is coming. I don't like the way the letter's written, though, but I like to talk
Right to the point.
well, I like to write a letter to Acadia.
Actually, that's what I thought, is
Yeah.
maybe we can get some feedback from this professor as to what they see as a deficiency in our, our policies and our planning.
I think I will try to find out who the professor is in urban planning is, and write a letter. But thought crossed my mind, Tom, in regards to this particular property. Well, the first thing I looked at, like 2 or 3 names here, had more than 2 colors on the properties. There's listed here. I did. Made a point of looking. But if we took a picture of a multicolored house in town, and we all know that we're speaking to, send it to our attorney and say, is this unsightly or is this just ugly?
Yeah, define that, what is?
Unsightly is-
Define unsightly in our bylaws.
Yeah, unsightly
What is
is
unsightly?
a more gentle way of saying ugly, but is it unsightly? I would test it with him to see what he thinks.
Then
Well,
the eye-
the one he's doing now, he's got 4 sides, he started with 3 colors, now he's got a little piece of,
At least the front is one.
No,
The front
it's
was
not.
except for the piece.
Separate, yeah, top, yeah.
But in regards to telling people that they can have 2 colors, I have 3 colors in the house. I don't,
If you took that to the letter of how it's written, the modular's painting on the building downtown,
Can't be there.
your bylaw.
murals can't be there.
Right.
So, I know that they're frustrated, and we're all frustrated. But would that be worth an exercise? Take a picture and send it to TMC and say, does this fit within our?
There was a case in Halifax years ago, a guy named Peter Coscolas, and on Robie Street, he did, along the line there where the hotel is, the Holiday Inn, there's a strip there.
I remember.
He painted it different colors.
Yes.
After he had a big fight with them.
After
With
the big
the-
fight,
the fight with
he
the-
painted, so he painted them different colors, right?
Yeah.
And, I
That
don't know
was
what's ever come out of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Halifax
He had a
changed
fight with
their
the city.
bylaws or what they did, but,
I think he was accused of being a slum landlord not long
you know, he
ago.
was quite a character, I went to college with him.
And he had to fight with the city and he
Yeah.
painted it all different colors.
But you mentioned the building in Cape Breton, Newfoundland, and it's got multicolored shingles,
Yeah.
It's a tourism attraction.
Well,
That would not be
Those are
allowed
kept, but
if we
it-
said
it-
two colors.
um,
Yes.
People travel to see that.
Laura Lee has been doing some
Yeah.
doing some research, trying to find out. I haven't had a chance to talk to Chris, but, you know, we can't, I think that if we're gonna do this, it's gotta be in our land use bylaw.
But it's a sledgehammer for a little tiny job. And the real thing is they're complaining about Mike Tan.
Yeah.
So you can't make a Mike Tan bylaw. That's my problem.
No, and we've had that discussion before.
Yeah.
One person is creating this.
A lot more people with rats and everything else to worry about.
Oh, yeah,
Than something like this.
pick a topic. You're right.
Yeah, they were
Well,
part
you
of the
know,
crack
because-
plans he's talking about?
the amount of buildings that he has in town, does that mean that every time that, rather than paint a building, I was gonna, put siding, multicolored siding on every building that he owns in town?
If you did what they suggested here, I have to change my house.
Well, I'm not saying,
Mike, you?
that's their suggestion.
Yeah.
Maybe Tyler has.
Yeah, it's not our suggestion, I mean.
Yeah, I don't-
Suggestion to come
It's
up
a
with
tough
bylaw.
one.
Because right now my house has 3 sides re-sided, the front is not, so it's got white, blue, and red.
I had a gentleman stop in the store years ago when, Dean painted that, real estate place yellow.
Yeah.
Very yellow.
Yes.
And he went in the store, and he said, "What's the town lot? You can't, that's ugly."
Stay
And I said,
exactly, so it's not-
I said, so, it's, you paint your house, and somebody comes in and says, that's ugly. So what are you gonna do then?
We've had lime buildings downtown.
Yeah, we've had one.
In the
Actually,
1980s,
I like the line better than I do that.
in the 1980s on Forestry in Yarmouth, there was a house that was painted white and red, and they nicknamed it the Circus Inn. Because that's what it looked like.
That probably seems to be, so I would imagine that. It's a tough one, but Laura Lee's doing some research on it.
She is doing, trying to do some research, and I'm gonna be talking with, Chris as well, and
Yeah.
Taylor to find out if there's other, you know. I mean, it is a fine line, because you're gonna try to dictate how you spend your money doing your house. I could understand, like, if the town gets the facade program off the ground,
Yes.
and we're gonna give somebody money to fix the front of their
Right.
storefront,
And there's
Or whatever.
insurance attached.
then we could have, say that it must be this and this and
And
this.
that's the way it used to be.
Yeah.
It was white clapboard, that is the original, one. That, if you wanted the money, that would be put on the front door.
But that's ugly.
It's sort of,
A building all white, to me, is ugly. No,
it's
no
sort
class, no
of
style.
smart. I mean, we look at councils in Britain, small councils in Britain. They tell you what color your roof can be, what it can be made of, what shade it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be put on, right down to what color nails you can use. I mean, it's real, you can't do anything.
Apples is
There's certain
areas, yeah.
But
Some
if you
people
look
might-
at the historic properties, you can look at historic colors.
Yeah.
They look next door. Those are true maritime colors.
They are. Yeah,
And,
that's why.
and there are many, many, many colors on one house.
That's right.
Would drive to Lunenburg or drive down the French Shore.
Yes.
And because you talk about bright yellow house, or the building, that stood out here, but in Lunenburg,
No, what you have to
wouldn't stood out because they have all these,
Where I live in Lower Sackville,
or Newfoundland,
there's on the corner of the street that we turn up, there's a house that is a bright orange metal roof and the sides are green. And airplanes, this is over to Bluff, airplanes coming into Halifax International Airport use that as a reference to line themselves up at Halifax.
Well, I agree with these folks too, and it's that one guy that's doing this to us,
Yes,
and.
but that's what it is that they don't say, but that's the reality of it, so.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll run into it, but I am gonna do some digging with, on good authority, well, don't put anything in a letter unless you back up.
Yeah, I think you should look into that.
I'm looking, just,
Laura, do you have something, maybe what, the committee of the whole, or?
Well, I'm not, I know that you've been doing some research, he hasn't had a lot of luck finding fishes, you know. And, I think she's struggling with the rest of us, I guess, trying to
Give
get
her-
her
give,
background of how much you can, you know, I mean, if you want, if you had, community, the town divided up into different districts, right? In this district, your color schemes are this, in this district, your color schemes are that, right? But we don't have that.
we can do it by zones, maybe, but we so intermixed, too.
But there is, I mean, there is a logical reason why they do that. Do you know what it is? When you siding a house, a lot of times a siding that they've made 5-10 years ago is a certain width, right? It's double four, so it's 4 inches and 4 inches, or 4.5, 4.5, about the double E. So a siding that you might have purchased on your house and put that house together with might not be available, right? Because of the width. But if you have, say, enough to do up to a certain point, you can use a newer siding and go again, because now it's a different width, right? The locking mechanisms on the top and bottom are still the same. It's the width. So now, if I use another color, I can keep going as long as it's a full row, right? As long as that row is complete, then you can keep going. That's why they're different colors. The problem is, you can paint siding, so once it's done,
That's right.
why paint and paint the whole same color?
That's what, yeah.
I had the old house I owned, had the color lock side, it
Yes,
was all
that
color
was
lock.
really old, yeah.
Yeah, couldn't match it up, so I remodeled the whole house. Couldn't find any pieces, of course, now we have a supplier and all this stuff. Anyway, yeah, do that, and I am going to, good authority, I'm gonna find out if there's a bigger planner at Katy University. I know some people there, so.
Helps the students.
Yeah, but I agree with them, it's just, what's gonna happen? Okay, next thing on the agenda, Jeff and Mayor and I, we met with, Chris Dautermont and, the housing critic for the Federal Conservative Party here. There was Trish McCourt, Libby Housing Coalition, Beth Earl, keep her name wrong. Big Board of Trade, the acting president. Anyway,
Ron
and,
Manzo was there.
and yeah, Brian Manzer was here. I had lunch with him prior to that, spent some time with him at the lunch. Joe Walter, yeah. So they were just, nothing really new come out. They were asking for ideas on how to fix the housing project. And this guy, nice guy, got elected to council when he was 21, he was mayor when he was 24, and then he ran for federal politics. And he was involved in some projects like the Housing Coalition, and you mentioned that. I will say, I had, at the lunch, there was the warden and I and that group, and Donnie Bondi was there, he couldn't come to the session. Donnie Bondi said, I have nothing but good things to say about projects when I worked with the town. They're not expensive, they were timely, he gave these guys, he gave us a good reference to the two MPs there, and Brian Manzer mentioned it here too, that he's worked well with the town on his better project coming, so. But nothing came out of the meeting. You know, they made the comment that will probably be forming the next government, so we'll live with Rust housing, so. So, that lasted a couple hours here in Council Chambers, I don't know, 2 weeks ago now, like, yeah.
But they made an effort.
Yeah, they made an effort to reach out to here, and everybody had a chance to speak, and, one individual in the crowd, who I was straightening at Christmas dinner, said, I think it's the town district's issue, they should fix it, and the MP from Ontario looked at me and said, I'm sure the mayor, if he had money, would fix it. I know little towns don't have money. So, I was chatting with her at Christmas. Anyways, we need a motion to win camera, talk about shorts, Tom said. We have a motion to win camera? Second?
Second.
All those in favor of going in camera? Aye. Seconder, all in favor, aye? Aye. Can we have a motion, that's the last item on the agenda, or is?
Motion to adjourn.
Sure.